Welcome back, in final part of McDonald's. Let's continue this topic. McDonald's has been criticized for numerous aspects of its business, including the health effects of its products, its treatment of employees, and other business practices.
In the late 1980s, Phil Sokoloff, a millionaire businessman who had suffered a heart attack at the age of 43, took out full-page newspaper ads in New York, Chicago, and other large cities accusing McDonald's menu of being a threat to American health and asking them to stop using beef tallow to cook their French fries.
In 1990, activists from a small group known as London Greenpeace, no connection to the international group Greenpeace, distributed leaflets entitled "What's Wrong with McDonald's?", criticizing its environmental, health, and labor record.
The corporation wrote to the group demanding they desist and apologize, and when two of the activists refused to back down, sued them for libel, leading to the McLibel case, one of the longest cases in English civil law.
A documentary film of the McLibel trial has been shown in several countries. In 2001, Eric Schlosser's book Fast Food Nation included criticism of the business practices of McDonald's, particularly with respect to its use of political influence and targeting advertisements to children.
In 2002, vegetarian groups, largely Hindu and Buddhist, successfully sued McDonald's for misrepresenting its French fries as vegetarian when they contained beef broth.
Critical terms such as McJob and McMansion have been added to dictionaries. Morgan Spurlock's 2004 documentary film Super Size Me claimed that McDonald's food was contributing to the increase of obesity in society and that the company was failing to provide nutritional information about its food for its customers.
6 weeks after the film premiered, McDonald's announced that it was eliminating the super size option and was creating the adult Happy Meal.
Studies of litter have found that McDonald's is one of the most littered brands worldwide.
In 2012, a Keep Australia Beautiful study found that McDonald's was the most littered brand in Queensland.
In response to public pressure, McDonald's has sought to include more healthy choices in its menu, announcing in May 2008 that, in the United States and Canada, it has switched to using cooking oil that contains no trans fats for its French fries, and canola-based oil with corn and soy oils for its baked items, pies and cookies, by end of 2018.
The company introduced a new slogan to its recruitment posters: "Not bad for a McJob."
Since McDonald's began receiving criticism for its environmental practices in the 1970s, it has significantly reduced its use of materials. Pro-Palestine protesters released mice, sometimes dyed the colors of the flag of Palestine, in 3 McDonald's restaurants in response to reports that McDonald's restaurants in Israel were giving out free meals to IDF soldiers. In October 2023, during the 2023 Israel-Hamas war, McDonald's has been involved in a number of lawsuits and other legal cases, most of which involved trademark disputes.
The company has threatened many food businesses with legal action unless it drops the MC or MEC from trading names.
In April 2017, Irish fast food chain Supermax submitted a request to the European Union Property Office to cancel McDonald's own trademarks within the European Union, claiming that McDonald's engaged in trademark bullying, registering brand names, which are simply stored away in a war chest to use against future competitors after the trademarks have prevented Supermax from expanding out of Ireland.
The EU IPO ruled in Supermac's favor, finding that McDonald's has not proven genuine use of many trademarks, canceling McDonald's own trademarks such as Big Mac and certain MC-related trademarks within the European Union.
Burger King responded by showing McDonald's by giving their burgers names that included the words Big Mac that also mocked the original burger, which included like a Big Mac but juicier, like a Big Mac, but actually big, and Big Mac ish like flame, grilled of course. The McDonald's group has had proceedings taken against it from the French tax authorities with possible charges of criminal tax fraud.
In July 2022, the group reached an agreement with the French judicial authorities to end criminal proceedings for tax fraud.
In 2023, the UIPO Board of Appeal annulled their decision after McDonald's filed 700 pages of additional evidence, despite objections. On September 8, 2009, McDonald's Malaysian operations lost a lawsuit to prevent another restaurant calling itself McCurry.
McDonald's lost in an appeal to Malaysia's highest court, the federal court.
On December 29, 2016, McDonald's Malaysia issued a statement that said only certified Hell cakes are allowed inside its restaurants nationwide. In April 2007, in Perth, Western Australia, McDonald's pleaded guilty to 5 charges relating to the employment of children under 15 in one of its outlets and was fined $8,000 Australian dollars. The longest-running legal action of all time in the UK was the McLadell case against 2 defendants who criticized a number of aspects of the company.
The trial lasted 10 years and called 130 witnesses.
The European Court of Human Rights deemed that the unequal resources of the litigants breached the defendants' rights to freedom of speech and biased the trial.
The result was widely seen as a PR disaster for McDonald's.
In the end of November 2013, controversy arose after the Roots Ali song, Only 17, a parody of Just a Dream by Noe, was accidentally played uncensored over the speakers at a McDonald's restaurant in Wales.
Subsequently, McDonald's issued an apology to the offended customers.
That same week, Roots Ali responded to the controversy on his YouTube channel by jokingly demanding a personal apology from the restaurant. In 2021, it emerged that at least 50 employees had filed charges against the chains regarding harassment in the workplace in a 5-year period, leading to the company instituting anti-harassment training.
Some of the complainants also stated that they were verbally and physically harassed in retaliation for their complaints.
In 2023, the BBC conducted an investigation and reported that more than 100 current and recent UK workers at outlets of the fast food chain allege there is a continuing toxic culture of sexual assault, harassment, racism and bullying. The 1994 court case Liebeck v. McDonald's Restaurants examined a McDonald's practice of serving coffee so hot that when spilled, it caused third-degree burns requiring weeks of hospitalization and skin grafting surgery.
The trial outcome was an award of $2.86 million, equivalent to $5.15 million in 2022, for the plaintiff, 81-year-old Stella Liebeck.
The amount was later reduced to $640,000, equivalent to $1.2 million in 2022.
In 2019, a McDonald's employee, Jenna Rice, sued the restaurant chain over allowing sexual harassment in the workplace and described the working environment as toxic.
In 2023, an investigation by the United States Department of Labor found child labor violations at McDonald's franchises in the state of Kentucky, which involved over 300 children, 2 of them 10-year-olds.
A total of $212,000 were levied against 3 franchises for the violations.
Further investigations uncovered child labor violations involving 83 minors at 16 different locations in Louisiana and Texas, with imposed fines amounting to $77,572. American restaurant chain McDonald's has been criticized for numerous aspects of its business, including the health effects of its products, its treatment of employees, the environmental impact of its operations, and other business practices. In the late 1980s, Phil Sokoloff, a millionaire businessman who had suffered a heart attack at the age of 43, took out full-page newspaper ads in New York, Chicago, and other large cities accusing McDonald's menu of being a threat to American health, and asking them to stop using beef tallow to cook their French fries. In 1990, activists from a small group known as London Greenpeace, no connection to the international group Greenpeace, distributed leaflets entitled "What's Wrong with McDonald's?", criticizing its environmental, health, and labor record.
The corporation wrote to the group demanding they desist and apologize, and when two of the activists refused to back down, sued them for libel, leading to the McLibel case, one of the longest cases in English civil law.
A documentary film of the McLibel trial has been shown in several countries. In 2001, Eric Schlosser's book Fast Food Nation included criticism of the business practices of McDonald's.
Among the critiques were allegations that McDonald's, along with other companies within the fast food industry, uses its political influence to increase its profits at the expense of the people's health and the social conditions of its workers.
The book also brought into question McDonald's advertisement techniques in which it targets children.
While the book did mention other fast food chains, it focused primarily on McDonald's.
In 2002, vegetarian groups, largely Hindu and Buddhist, successfully sued McDonald's for misrepresenting its French fries as vegetarian when they contained beef broth.
In the same year, Spanish band Scott B released a song titled "McDollar" in their album Cuecara, La Voz, criticizing McDonald's.
Morgan Spurlock's 2004 documentary film Super Size Me claimed that McDonald's food was contributing to the increase of obesity in society and that the company was failing to provide nutritional information about its food for its customers.
6 weeks after the film premiered, McDonald's announced that it was eliminating the super size option and was creating the adult Happy Meal.
A counter-documentary called Fathead purported to point out inconsistencies in Super Size Me. In response to public pressure, McDonald's has sought to include more healthy choices in its menu and has introduced a new slogan to its recruitment posters: "Not bad for a McJob."
The word McJob, first attested in the mid-1980s and later popularized by Canadian novelist Douglas Coulon in his book Generation X, Tales for an Accelerated Culture, has become a buzzword for low-paid, unskilled work with few prospects or benefits and little security.
McDonald's disputes this definition of McJob.
In 2007, the company launched an advertising campaign with a slogan, "Would you like a career with that?" on Irish television, asserting that its jobs have good prospects.
In an effort to respond to growing consumer awareness of food provenance, the fast food chain changed its supplier of both coffee beans and milk.
UK Chief Executive Steve Easterbrook said, "British consumers are increasingly interested in the quality, sourcing, and ethics of the food and drink they buy."
In a bid to tap into the ethical consumer market, McDonald's switched to using coffee beans taken from stocks that are certified by the Rainforest Alliance, a conservation group.
Additionally, in response to pressure, McDonald's UK started using organic milk supplied for its bottled milk and hot drinks, although it still uses conventional milk in its milkshakes and in all of its dairy products in the United States.
A According to a report published by Farmers Weekly in 2007, the quantity of milk used by McDonald's could have accounted for as much as 5% of the UK's organic milk output. McDonald's announced in May 2008 that, in the United States and Canada, it has switched to using cooking oil that contains no trans fats for its French fries and canola-based oil with corn and soy oils. For its baked items, pies and cookies, by end of 2018. With regard to acquiring chickens from suppliers who use CHA/CAS methods of slaughter, McDonald's says that it needs to see more research to help determine whether any CAS system in current use is optimal from an animal welfare perspective. Though the company objected, the term "McJob" was added to Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary in 2003.
The term was defined as a low-paying job that requires little skill and provides little opportunity for advancement.
Though the company objected, the term "McJob" was added to Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary in 2003.
The term was defined as a low-paying job that requires little skill and provides little opportunity for advancement.
Merriam-Webster's unabridged dictionary also contains the word McMansion, a critical, pejorative term used to describe an overly large, ostentatious, sometimes poorly designed or constructed house, often found in a suburb or in new developments on traditionally rural land.
McMansions are often built in multiples that are difficult to distinguish from one another, like assembly line factory parts or fast food hamburgers.
In 2006, an unsanctioned McDonald's video game by Italian group Industria was released online.
It is a parody of the business practices of the corporate giant, taking the guise of a tycoon-style business simulation game.
In the game, the player plays the role of a McDonald's CEO, choosing whether or not to use controversial practices like genetically altered cow feed, plowing over rainforests, and corrupting public officials.
McDonald's issued a statement distancing itself from the game.
In January 2014, McDonald's was accused of having used a series of tax maneuvers to avoid taxes in France.
French authorities have built McDonald's France in 2016 for €300 million for unpaid taxes on profit.
In April 2020, McDonald's apologized after footage showing a notice that was being displayed inside one of its restaurants in China saying that black people are not allowed to enter. In October 2020, the Azerbaijan branch of McDonald's was criticized for Facebook and Instagram posts endorsing Azerbaijan's military actions against Armenia in Nagorno-Karabakh.
While McDonald's restaurants exist in Armenia as of January 2020, none of them were franchises of the global chain.
June 2023 saw McDonald's and the wiki hosting website Fandom receive scrutiny for paying Fandom for removing and replacing content on the fan-run Fandom hosted McDonald's wiki with advertising.
The company paid Fandom an undisclosed amount to temporarily replace the page about Grimace, which originally detailed the history of the character, into an advertisement promoting the chain's Grimace Shake.
The decision was vocally protested by Nathan Steinmetz, author of the Grimace article, arguing that the effort he placed into sourcing and writing the article was thrown down the drain in order to promote the product.
Steinmetz further credited Wikis as among the last places where people share knowledge unconditionally, stating to multiple outlets that the move by Fandom set a really bad precedent that an IP holder can approach Fandom or whoever and have user-generated content basically suppressed and replaced with a press release.
Although McDonald's has a policy against abuse of staff, reports in the UK have shown numerous cases of sexual and racial abuse by managers towards younger employees. Since McDonald's began receiving criticism for its environmental practices in the 1970s, it has significantly reduced its use of materials.
For instance, an average meal in the 1970s, a Big Mac, fries, and a drink, required 46 grams, 1.6 ounces of packaging. Today, it requires 25 grams, 0.88 ounces, a 46% reduction.
In addition, McDonald's eliminated the need for intermediate containers for cola by using a delivery system that pumps syrup directly from the delivery truck into storage containers, saving 2 million pounds, 910 tons, of packaging annually.
Weight reductions in packaging and products, as well as increased usage of bulk packaging, ultimately decreased packaging by 24 million pounds, 11,000 tons, annually.
McDonald's efforts to reduce solid waste by using less packaging and by promoting the use of recycled materials were recognized by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. In 1990, McDonald's worked with the Environmental Defense Fund to stop using clamshell-shaped styrofoam food containers to store its food products. In April 2008, McDonald's announced that 11 of its restaurants in Sheffield, England, were engaged in a biomass trial program that cut its waste and carbon footprint by half in the area.
In this trial, waste from the restaurants was collected by Veolia Environmental Services and used to produce energy at a power plant.
McDonald's announced plans to expand this project, although the lack of biomass power plants in the United States would prevent adoption of this plan as a national standard there anytime soon.
In addition, in Europe, McDonald's has been recycling vegetable grease by converting it to fuel for its diesel trucks.
In an effort to reduce energy usage by 25% in its restaurants, McDonald's opened a prototype restaurant in Chicago in 2009, intending to use the model in its other restaurants throughout the world.
Building on past efforts, specifically a restaurant it opened in Sweden in 2000 that was the first to incorporate green ideas, McDonald's designed the Chicago site to save energy by managing storm water, using skylights for more natural lighting, and installing partitions and tabletops made from recycled goods, among other measures.
In 2012, McDonald's announced they would try replacing styrofoam coffee cups with an alternative material. In 2018, McDonald's switched from plastic straws to paper ones in Ireland and the United Kingdom and Australia in an effort to reduce plastic pollution.
Followed by the Netherlands in 2020 and Germany in 2021.
Disabled activists criticized that the shift away from plastic straws is obliged, as certain disabilities result in the loss of gross or fine motor control, thus would prevent a customer from safely lifting, balancing, or drinking from a cup. In January 2021, McDonald's Arcos Dorados, the largest independent McDonald's franchise in the world, which operates stores in Latin America and the Caribbean, introduced food trays manufactured by UBQ materials that use a mix of food waste byproducts to reduce the use of virgin plastic. McDonald's uses a corn-based bioplastic to produce containers for some products.
The environmental benefits of this technology are controversial, with critics noting that biodegradation is slow and produces greenhouse gases, and that contamination of traditional plastic waste streams with bioplastics can complicate recycling efforts.
Studies of litter have found that McDonald's is one of the most littered brands worldwide.
In 2012, a Keep Australia Beautiful study found that McDonald's was the most littered brand in Queensland.
In 2009, Keep Britain Tidy likewise found McDonald's to be the leading producer of fast food litter on British streets, accounting for 29% of the total.
An early protest against this practice was Operation Send It Back, launched by London Greenpeace in 1994 in response to the company's targeting of activists in the McDonald's trial.
Participants in Operation Send It Back returned 30 sacks of McDonald's litter to the company.
In the 2010s, similar individual protests took place in New Zealand and England.
During the 2023 Israel-Gaza war, amidst the Israeli blockade of supplies in Gaza, McDonald's in Israel was condemned after giving free food to the Israel Defense Forces who were accused of committing war crimes against Palestinians.
The hashtag Boycott McDonald's gained worldwide traction on social media.
There were also large gatherings outside restaurants in Lebanon and Egypt, protesting the move.
McDonald's in other countries like Turkey and Pakistan distanced themselves from the Israeli brand.
In January 2024, McDonald's CEO Christian Chinsky acknowledged the backlash, stating, "Several markets in the Middle East and some outside the region are experiencing a meaningful business impact due to the war and associated misinformation that is affecting brands like McDonald's. McDonald's has been involved in a number of lawsuits and other legal cases, most of which involved trademark disputes."
The company has threatened many food businesses with legal action unless it drops the MC or MEC from trading names.
In April 2007, in Perth, Western Australia, McDonald's pleaded guilty to 5 charges relating to the employment of children under 15 in one of its outlets and was fined $8,000. In April 2017, Irish fast food chain Supermax submitted a request to the European Union Property Office to cancel McDonald's owned trademarks within the European Union, claiming that McDonald's engaged in trademark bullying, registering brand names, which are simply stored away in a war chest to use against future competitors after the trademarks have prevented Supermax from expanding out of Ireland.
The EU IPO ruled in Supermax's favor, finding that McDonald's has not proven genuine use of many trademarks, canceling McDonald's own trademarks such as Big Mac and certain MC-related trademarks within the European Union.
Burger King responded by showing McDonald's by giving their sandwiches names that included the words Big Mac, that also mocked the original burger, which included like a Big Mac but juicier, like a Big Mac, but actually big, and Big Mac is like flame, grilled of course. On September 8, 2009, McDonald's Malaysian operations lost a lawsuit to prevent another restaurant calling itself McCurry.
McDonald's lost in an appeal to Malaysia's highest court, the federal court.
On December 29, 2016, McDonald's Malaysia issued a statement that said only certified Hale cakes are allowed inside its restaurants nationwide. The longest-running legal action of all time in the UK was the McLidell case against 2 defendants who criticized a number of aspects of the company.
The trial lasted 10 years and called 130 witnesses.
The European Court of Human Rights deemed that the unequal resources of the litigants breached the defendants' rights to freedom of speech and biased the trial.
The result was widely seen as a PR disaster for McDonald's.
The 1994 court case Liebeck v. McDonald's Restaurants examined the McDonald's practice of serving coffee so hot that when spilled, it caused third-degree burns requiring weeks of hospitalization and skin grafting surgery.
The trial outcome was an award of $2.86 million, equivalent to $5.15 million in 2022, for the plaintiff, 81-year-old Stella Liebeck.
The amount was later reduced to $640,000, equivalent to $1.2 million in 2022.
2019, a McDonald's employee, Jenna Rice, sued the restaurant chain over allowing sexual harassment in the workplace and described the working environment as toxic.
McDonald's has been involved in a number of lawsuits and other legal cases in the course of the fast food chain's 70-year history.
Many of these have involved trademark issues, but McDonald's has also launched a defamation suit which has been described as the biggest corporate PR disaster in history.
In 1996, McDonald's revoked businessman Roberto Gipil's franchise for his restaurants in El Salvador.
McDonald's told Gipil the franchise he had operated for 24 years had expired and wouldn't be renewed.
Gipil, who had a 1994 agreement that he believed extended the franchise to 2014, refused to close or rebrand his restaurants. McDonald's won in the lower courts, but appellate courts sided with Gipil, and eventually in 2012 McDonald's was ordered to pay a $23.9 million judgment to Gipil. Gipil alleged that he never received the $23.9 million judgment and has filed a new demand in court for $21 million in interest on the award. On 30 August 2015, McDonald's published a public notice in select newspapers declaring that McDonald's India partner Vikram Bakshi had ceased to be the managing director of Connaught Plaza Restaurants, CPRL. Pursuant to the expiration of his term on July 17, 2015.
CPRL was a joint venture between McDonald's and Vikram Bakshi and was responsible for managing the over 150 McDonald's outlets in north and east regions of India.
Bakshi had been the face of the company in India for almost 2 decades.
After being ousted abruptly, Bakshi sought to fight for his stake and rights before the Company Law Board, CLB.
Bakshi said he brought over 490 crore rupees, US $83.62 million, worth of revenue for the American food chain.
McDonald's sought to buy the 50% share in CPRL held by Bakshi and his wife for 120 crore rupees, US $20.48 million, whereas Bakshi sought 1,800 crore rupees, US $307.18 million, for the same.
Bakshi accused Amit Jaisha, who manages the chain in West and South India under Hardcastle Restaurants, of instigating McDonald's.
Whoa!
McDonald's had sold their 50% share of the Hardcastle Restaurants joint venture to Jaisha at a reported loss of 99% in 2011, making it a master franchisee.
The court is under the ambit of CLB, with hearing beginning in early October 2015.
In 2017, the National Company Law Tribunal, the successor of the CLB, reinstated Bakshi as managing director of Connaught Plaza Restaurants.
In 2019, Bakshi and McDonald's reached a settlement where McDonald's would buy Bakshi's share in CPRL for an undisclosed amount and become the sole owner. In 1990, McDonald's took environmental campaigners Helen Steele and Dave Morris to court after they distributed leaflets entitled "What's Wrong with McDonald's?" on the streets of London.
The high-profile trial, which came to be known as the Muklagel case, lasted nearly 10 years, the longest in English legal history.
Though a high court judge eventually ruled in favor of McDonald's on some counts, the Guardian environmental editor John Vital called it a Pyrrhic victory.
The extended legal battle was a PR disaster, with every aspect of the company's working practices being scrutinized and the media presenting the case as a David and Goliath battle.
A Additionally, the damages received were negligible compared to the company's estimated £10 million legal costs because the court ruled in favor of a number of the defendants' claims, including that McDonald's exploited children in its advertising, was anti-trade union and indirectly exploited and caused suffering to animals.
McDonald's was awarded £60,000 damages, which was later reduced to £40,000 by the Court of Appeal.
Steele and Morris announced they had no intention of ever paying, and the company later confirmed it would not be pursuing the money.
Steele and Morris went on to challenge UK libel laws in the European Court of Human Rights, claiming that the lack of access to legal aid and the heavy burden of proof that lay with them as the defendants' requirement to prove their claims under UK law was a breach of the right to a fair trial and freedom of expression.
The court ruled in their favor. In 2004, McDonald's sued Cebu-based fast food restaurant McJoy for using a very similar trade name.
In its defense, McJoy insisted that it was the first user of the mark under the title McJoy and Device for its business in Cebu City, which started in 1987. Whereas McDonald's only opened its first outlet in the same city in 1992, although it had used the name in Manila since 1971.
McJoy stated that the requirement of actual use in commerce in the Philippines before one may register a trademark pertains to the territorial jurisdiction on a national scale and is not merely confined to a certain locality or region.
It added that McJoy is a term of endearment for the owner's niece, whose name is Scarlett U. Parcel.
In response, McDonald's claimed that there was no connection with the name Scarlett U. Parcel to merit the coinage of the word McJoy, and that the only logical conclusion over the name is to help the Cebu restaurant ride high on their, McDonald's, established reputation. In February 2007, the Philippine Supreme Court upheld the right of McDonald's over its registered and internationally recognized trademarks.
As a result, the owners of McJoy, the Espina family, was forced to change its trademark into MyJoy, which went into effect with the reopening of its 2 branches in Cebu City on August that year.
In 1994, McDonald's successfully forced Elizabeth McCaughey of the San Francisco Bay Area to change the trading name of her coffee shop McCoffee, which had operated under that name for 17 years.
This is the moment I surrendered the little seat to corporate America, said Ms. McCaughey, who had named it as an adaptation of her surname.
From the early 1960s to the mid-1980s, Norman McDonald ran a small, country drive-in restaurant in Philpott, Kentucky, called simply McDonald's Hamburgers Country Drive-In, which at the time also had a gas station and convenience store.
McDonald's, the restaurant chain, forced Norman to remove the arches and add the full Norman McDonald's name to its sign so customers would not be confused into thinking the restaurant was affiliated with a McDonald's restaurant chain.
The restaurant is still open to this day, though it no longer has a gas station. In 2001, McDonald's lost a 9-year legal action against Frank Yun, owner of China Walkaway, a small chain of Chinese takeaway outlets in London.
Justice David Neuberger ruled the McChina name would not cause any confusion among customers and that McDonald's had no right to the prefix MC.
In 1996, McDonald's forced Scottish sandwich shop owner Mary Blair of Fenny Stratford, the Kingdomshire, to drop McMunchies as her trading name.
Mrs. Blair did not sell burgers or chips.
She said she chose the name because she liked the word munchies and wanted the cafe to have a Scottish feel.
The cafe's sign reflected this, featuring a Scottish thistle and a St. Andrew's flag.
statement from Mrs. Blair's solicitors, McDonald's said if someone used the MC prefix, even unintentionally, they were using something that does not belong to them. An often reported urban legend maintains that McDonald's filed a lawsuit against McDonald's Family Restaurant, an actual fast food establishment located in Grand Cayman.
This false claim alleges that McDonald's lost the case and in addition was banned from ever opening a McDonald's location on Grand Cayman.
While it is true that no McDonald's locations exist on the island, the reason is not due to any lawsuit against McDonald's Family Restaurant. In 1996, McDonald's lost a legal battle at the Danish Supreme Court to force Alan Pedersen, a hot dog vendor, to drop his shop name McAllen.
Pedersen had previously visited Scotland on whiskey tasting tours.
He named his business after his favorite brand of whiskey, McAllen's, after contacting the distillery to see if they would object.
They did not, but McDonald's did.
However, the court ruled customers could tell the difference between a one-man vendor and a multinational chain and ordered McDonald's to pay 40,000 kroner, $6,900 in court costs.
The verdict cannot be appealed.
In 2001, McDonald's sued a small restaurant named McCurry, a popular eatery serving Indian food in Jalanito, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
McDonald's claimed that the use of the MC prefix infringed its trademark, while the defendant claimed that McCurry stood for Malaysian chicken curry.
In 2006, McDonald's won an initial judgment in the High Court.
The judge ruled that the prefix MC and the use of colors distinctive of the McDonald's brand could confuse and deceive customers.
In April 2009, however, a three-member appeal court panel overturned the verdict, saying that there was no evidence to show that McCurry was passing off its own product as that of McDonald's.
The appeals court also said that McDonald's cannot claim an exclusive right to the MC prefix in the country.
McDonald's appealed the decision to the federal court, the highest court in Malaysia.
In September 2009, the federal court upheld the appeal court's decision.
McDonald's appeal was dismissed with costs, and the company was ordered to pay 10,000 Malaysian ringgits to McCurry. Apartheid politics had prevented earlier expansion into South Africa, but as the apartheid regime came to an end in the early 1990s, McDonald's decided to expand there.
The company had already recognized South Africa as a potentially significant market and had registered its name as a trademark there in 1968.
Under South African law, trademarks cease to be the property of a company if they are not used for a certain amount of time.
McDonald's had renewed the 1968 registration several times, but missed a renewal deadline.
The registration expired and McDonald's discovered two fast food restaurants in South Africa were trading under the name McDonald's.
Moreover, a businessman had applied to register the McDonald's name.
Multiple lawsuits were filed.
The fast food chain was stunned when the court ruled it had lost the rights to its world-famous name in South Africa.
However, the company eventually won on appeal. The company first wrote a McDonald's family restaurant, which opened in 1956 in Fairbury, Illinois, and is run by a man whose real name is Ronald McDonald, in 1970 to warn against the restaurant ever using arches or going to a drive-in format.
Over the next 26 years, the company would send 33 more letters and make several phone calls.
After unspecified legal wranglings, the restaurant entered into a settlement agreement and non-disclosure agreement, allegedly in exchange for enough money to purchase a top-of-the-line luxury car, and they threw in a new sign to boot. Mr. McDonald ultimately continued to use his name on his restaurant despite the company's objections. In 2005, McDonald's tried to stop a Queensland lawyer, Malcolm McBratney, from using the name McBrat on the shorts of the Brisbane Irish rugby team.
McDonald's claimed the McBrat name should not be registered because it was too similar to its McKids trademark, since the word brat is another term for kid.
McBratney argued that his family name had been used in Ireland since the 1600s, and that he had a right to use an abbreviation of that name.
In 2006, the delegate of the Register of Trademarks held that McBratney could register McBrat as a trademark and that McDonald's had no intellectual property rights over MC and Mac prefixed words.
In 2020, McDonald's sued Australian Burger King franchise Hungry Jack's over their new Big Jack burger, which was a slightly altered version of Burger King's Big King and similar to McDonald's own Big Mac.
The close similarities in the name, appearance, and the marketing of the Big Jack led to McDonald's suing Hungry Jack's in the Federal Court of Australia in August 2020 over trademark infringement. And they sought to cancel Hungry Jack's Big Jack trademark, which was filed the previous year.
They also accused the company of deliberately copying the ingredients and appearance of the Big Mac in bad faith.
In its defense, Hungry Jack's argued that the burger's name is simply a play on the company's name and that of its founder Jack Cowan, and that a burger's appearance and composition cannot be protected by a trademark, noting that their product features common characteristics of hamburgers sold everywhere.
In November 2023, the federal court ruled against McDonald's, finding that Big Jack is not deceptively similar to Big Mac, and that the company had not established that Hungry Jack's trademarks had infringed on McDonald's existing trademarks.
The Big Jack and all its variants had been previously removed from Hungry Jack's menu in late 2021.
In 1973, Sid and Marty Krofft, the creators of HR Tough Stuff, successfully sued McDonald's and Sid and Marty Krofft Television Productions Incorporated v. McDonald's Corporation, arguing that the entire McDonald land premise was essentially a rip-off of their television show.
In specific, the Crofts claimed that the character Mayor McCheese was a direct copy of their character, HR Tough Stuff, being a mayor himself.
McDonald's initially was ordered to pay $50,000.
The case was later remanded as to damages, and McDonald's was ordered to pay the Crofts more than $1 million.
McDonald Land itself, as it was depicted in the commercials, was a magical place where plants, foods, and inanimate objects were living, speaking characters.
In addition to being the home to Ronald and the other core characters, McDonald Land boasted thick shake volcanoes and anthropomorphized apple pie trees, the hamburger patch, where McDonald's hamburgers grew out of the ground like plants, Filet-O-Fish Lake, and many other fanciful features based around various McDonald's menu items.
In the commercials, the various beings are played by puppets or costume performers, very similar to the popular HR Tough Stuff program. McDonald's had originally hoped the Crofts would agree to license its characters for commercial promotions.
When they declined, McDonald Land was created purposely based on the HR Tough Stuff show in an attempt to duplicate the appeal.
After the lawsuit, the concept of the magical place was all but phased out of the commercials, as were many of the original characters.
Those that remained would be Ronald, Grimace, the Hamburglar, and the Fry Kids.
In 1988, Quality Inns, now Choice Hotels, was planning to open a new chain of economy hotels under the name McSleep.
After McDonald's demanded that Quality Inns not use the name because it infringed, the hotel company filed a suit in federal court seeking a declaratory judgment that McSleep did not infringe.
McDonald's counterclaimed, alleging trademark infringement and unfair competition.
Linguist Roger Shaw testified for Quality Inn that the MC prefix had become part of everyday English. David Lightfoot argued for McDonald's that in all those cases these meanings were characteristics of McDonald's and its reputation.
Eventually, McDonald's prevailed.
Whoa!
The court's opinion noted that the prefix MC added to a generic word has acquired secondary meaning so that in the eyes of the public it means McDonald's. And therefore the name McSleep would infringe on McDonald's trademarks.
In 1996, British adult comic Viz accused McDonald's of plagiarizing the name and format of its long-standing Top Tips feature, in which readers offer sarcastic tips.
McDonald's had created an advertising campaign of the same name, which showcased the top tips and then suggested the money-saving alternative, going to McDonald's.
Some of the similarities were almost word for word.
Save a fortune on laundry bills. Give your dirty shirts to Oxfam. They will wash and iron them, and then you can buy them back for 50p. Viz Top Tip, published May 1989. Save a fortune on laundry bills. Give your dirty shirts to a second-hand shop. They will wash and iron them, and then you can buy them back for 50p. McDonald's Advert, 1996.
The case was settled out of court for an undisclosed sum, which was donated to the charity Appeal Comic Relief.
However, many Viz readers believed that the comic had given permission for their use, leading to top tips submissions such as Jordy magazine editors. Continue paying your mortgage and buying expensive train sets by simply licensing the top tips concept to a multinational burger corporation.
In March 2001, the Coalition of Immokalee Workers, a group of South Florida farm workers, began a campaign demanding better wages for the people who pick the tomatoes used by McDonald's and other fast food companies.
McDonald's was the second target after the group succeeded against Taco Bell.
McDonald's is one of several businesses where someone claiming to be a police officer telephoned the business and convinced the manager to conduct a strip search of an employee. On November 14, 2018, the Superior Court of Quebec certified Bromantee v. McDonald Restaurants as a class action on behalf of all consumers worldwide who purchased Happy Meals and toys in the province of Quebec.
The plaintiff alleged and the court agreed at certification that McDonald's violated Section 248 of the Quebec Consumer Protection Act by unlawfully advertising Happy Meals using displays with toys, often related to the newest cinematic release, at children's eye level inside McDonald's restaurants.
Section 248 provides that, subject to what is provided in the regulations, no person may make use of commercial advertising directed at persons under 13 years of age.
The court certified the case on behalf of the following class: every consumer pursuant to the Quebec Consumer Protection Act 2 since November 15, 2013. purchased in Quebec for a child under 13 years of age and present inside a McDonald's restaurant, a toy or Happy Meal, during an advertising campaign directed at children, taking place inside the restaurant.
The class action seeks injunctive relief ordering McDonald's to cease marketing to children under 13 years old, with its Happy Meal displays, reimbursement of Happy Meal and individual toy sales, as well as punitive damages in amounts to be determined.
The case was initially filed on November 15, 2013, by Quebec class action attorney Joey Zucran of LPC Advocate Incorporated.
In 2003, a ruling by the UK Advertising Standards Authority determined that the corporation had acted in breach of the codes of practice in describing how its French fries were prepared.
Whoa!
A McDonald's print ad stated that, after selecting certain potatoes, we peel them, slice them, fry them, and that's it.
It showed a picture of a potato in a McDonald's fries box.
In fact, the product was sliced, refried, sometimes had extras added, was then frozen, shipped, and refried and then had salt added.
Lawsuits were brought against the McDonald's Corporation in the early 1990s for including beef in its U.S. French fries despite claims that the fries were vegetarian.
In fact, beef flavoring is added to the fries during the production phase.
The case revolved around a 1990 McDonald's press release stating that the company's French fries would be cooked in 100% vegetable oil, and a 1993 letter to a customer that claimed their French fries are vegetarian.
McDonald's denied this.
The lawsuits ended in 2002 when McDonald's announced it would issue another apology and pay $10 million to vegetarians and religious groups.
Subsequent oversight by the courts was required to ensure that the money that was paid by McDonald's to use the funds for programs serving the interests of people following vegetarian dietary practices in the broadest sense.
There was some controversy in this ruling, as it benefited non-vegetarian groups such as research institutions that research vegetarian diets but do not benefit vegetarians.
In 2005, the appeal, filed by vegetarians against the list of recipients in this case, was denied, and the recipients of the $10 million chosen by McDonald's was upheld.
Further ingredient-related lawsuits have been brought against McDonald's since 2006.
McDonald's had included its French fries on its website in a list of gluten-free products. These lawsuits claim children suffered severe intestinal damage as a result of unpublicized changes to McDonald's French fry recipe.
McDonald's has provided a more complete ingredient list for its French fries more recently.
Over 20 lawsuits have been brought against McDonald's regarding this issue, which the McDonald's Corporation has attempted to consolidate.
In 2001, 34 claimants, representing some 7,000 claimants, filed a class action lawsuit against McDonald's for false and misleading conduct arising from the McDonald's monopoly. Promotion before Justice John Dowsett of the Federal Court of Australia.
The claimants had attempted to claim prizes from the 1999 promotion using game tokens from the 1998 promotion, arguing unsuccessfully that the remaining 1998 tokens may have been distributed accidentally by McDonald's in 1999.
In 2015, McDonald's stopped serving halal food, which is consistent with Islamic dietary laws, at the only 2 locations in the U.S. that serve halal food, both located in Dearborn, Michigan, after a $700,000 lawsuit filed in 2001, where a customer alleged the menu items were not consistently halal.
The case was brought to court by Michael Jafar, a Detroit lawyer of Fairfax Law who filed a consumer protection class action lawsuit against McDonald's for advertising health foods.
Also known as the McDonald's coffee case, Levick v. McDonald's is a well-known product liability lawsuit that became a flashpoint in the debate in the U.S. over tort reform after a jury awarded $2.9 million to Stella Levick, a 79-year-old woman from Albuquerque, New Mexico, who sued McDonald's after she suffered third-degree burns from hot coffee that was spilled on her at one of the company's drive-thrus in 1992.
The trial judge reduced the total award to $640,000, and the parties settled for a confidential amount before an appeal was decided.
The case entered popular understanding as an example of frivolous litigation. ABC News calls the case the poster child of excessive lawsuits.
Trial lawyer groups such as the Association of Trial Lawyers of America and other opponents of tort reform sometimes argue that the suit was justified because of the extent of Levick's injuries, as the coffee in question was at a temperature too hot for human consumption, which McDonald's failed to provide proper warning.
Warning consumers of possible dangers of their products is strictly enforced by the FDA.
Furthermore, McDonald's should not be serving substances that are potentially harmful to their consumers.
On May 10, 2023, a verdict rendered by a jury found that McDonald's and a franchise holder were held responsible for the injuries sustained by Olivia Carvalho, a 4-year-old who suffered second-degree burns from a McNugget.
A jury awarded the family $800,000.
In July 2014, a reporter was able to secretly capture film from inside the Shanghai Huzi Food Factory, a subsidiary of the American OSI Group, which showed factory workers violating various safety policies.
These included handling meat with bare hands, picking meat up off the floor and returning it to the processing machine, processing expired meats, and repeatedly reprocessing products that failed inspection until the said products passed inspection.
After the video surfaced, Yum Brands, operator of KFC and Pizza Hut in China, discontinued its operations with Huzi Foods and thus OSI Group.
However, McDonald's merely switched factories, preferring to continue their association with OSI Group as they believe the quality of meat is higher and this was an isolated incident.
On December 15, 2019, 2 teenage employees died when they were doing cleaning chores in a McDonald's restaurant in Pueblo Libre District, Lima.
They, who were working at dawn outside the hours indicated in their contract, had contact with a beverage vending machine in poor condition which produced an electric shock that, added to the wet floor and the lack of adequate cleaning implements, caused their death.
Arcos Dorados Holdings, McDonald's parent company in Peru and Latin America, was sued by the families of both young people for labor exploitation, safety deficiencies and negligence. As it became known that the workers had reported the machine's failures, but managers ignored that. In addition to that, employees had not been trained to face an event such as an electric shock.
All Peruvian restaurantes closed for some days in memory of 2 employees.
After a fine imposed by the National Superintendency of Labor Inspection, SUNAFL, and an out-of-court settlement with the bereaved families, which amounts exceeding $300,000. The case was archived in September 2020, although 3 months later the investigation was resumed.
The restaurant where the events occurred closed permanently in November 2020, although it had been closed since the incident.
McGee v. McDonald's is a United States federal class action lawsuit begun in May 2016 in the Illinois Northern District Court. Case number 1, column 16 CV 05652. In which Scott McGee of Metairie, Louisiana is pursuing action against McDonald's due to the company being unwilling to serve people who are visually impaired when only the drive-thru lane is open.
Because the drive-thru lane is sometimes the only method of ordering food once the dining room is closed, this creates a situation in which people who are legally blind and unable to operate a motor vehicle cannot order food from the restaurant while other people are able to do so.
McGee has limited vision because of macular degeneration, which started at age 16 and has become progressively worse.
He can walk without a cane, but his central vision is insufficient for driving.
McDonald's attempted to get the case dismissed, but in February 2017, a federal court ruled that McGee's lawsuit could proceed.
On May 8, 2018, the class was certified.
In August 2018, McDonald's argued that the restaurant was operated by a franchisee and that the McDonald's Corporation did not control the locking of doors.
In October 2018, McDonald's argued that the restaurant was accessible because a blind person could obtain food through the same Uber Eats delivery service that everyone else uses, even though it would cost $5 extra.
On October 31, 2018, McDonald's filed a document with the court, arguing that because the restaurants forbid any pedestrian access to their drive-up window, they are not discriminating against the blind.
McDonald's says a blind person has the same access as the 13 million adults who are not visually impaired and do not have a car, and that therefore the ADA does not apply.
In March 2019, arguments in court papers continued about the definition of meaningful access.
As of October 2020, the matter is still in litigation.
Meanwhile, on May 24, 2018, a law came into effect in Portland, Oregon requiring multimodal access to drive-thrus. The McDonald's case was mentioned in a June 2019 article about a similar problem with Wendy's evening service. On October 5, 2021, United States District Judge John F. Ness granted a summary judgment dismissing the action against McDonald's.
Judge Ness found that individual franchisees operate the restaurants, not McDonald's USA.
Also, discrimination was against pedestrians, not against the disabled. On 1 September 2020, McDonald's was sued by 50 black owners for racial discrimination.
According to the lawsuit, McDonald's steered black franchisees to stores which had lower revenue and higher security expenses than stores in more affluent areas.
On 16 February 2021, franchise owner and former professional athlete Herbert Washington filed a lawsuit in Youngstown, Ohio, alleging the McDonald's discriminatory practices prevented black franchisees from buying franchises in affluent areas.
The lawsuit read in part,
by relegating black owners to the oldest stores in the toughest neighborhoods, McDonald's ensured that black franchisees would never achieve the levels of success that white franchisees could expect. Black franchisees must spend more to operate their stores, while white franchisees get to realize the full benefit of their labors.
Washington's lawsuit asserts that the number of black McDonald's franchise owners in 2020 is 186, compared with 377 in 1998. On January 25, 2023, the Delaware Court of Chancery ruled that McDonald's former global chief people officer could be sued by shareholders who accused him of allowing a culture of sexual misconduct and harassment to develop at the company, clarifying that corporate officers owe a duty of oversight.
This landmark decision represented the first time that Delaware courts had explicitly recognized an officer-level fiduciary duty of oversight.
The stockholders in this derivative lawsuit are represented by lawyers from Brent and Eisenhower for PA, Scott plus Scott Attorneys at Law LLP, and Newman Ferrara LLP. That's it for this newly remastered episode today. Thank you for watching this video.
If you enjoy this content, be sure to hit a like, and be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out any newly videos like this, and we will see you in episode 13 of Season 2.
Stay safe and so on.